Okay, now let's assign the values we want to display in the display label as a text in the display label. These values need to be displayed only after typing the number to be guessed and clicking the submit button. Therefore, let's add these paths to when the button submit click code block that was created earlier. After clicking variables, a set of app variable secret number 2 code block is dragged in this way into this if code block in the when button submit code block. Let's change the variable here as app variable display. Now, a join code block under text is connected here. The hello code block here is dragged into the recycle bin and removed from here. Instead, click on label display between the components and connect a label displays text code block here. Also, the word code block here is dragged into the recycle bin and removed from here. Instead, a new line code block in the text is connected. Now, in the same way, you need to display the guessed number. In front of that, it is necessary to display the values of the cows and bulls. These values are assigned in count, guess, cows and bulls variables. We need to add these values to the text assigned in the display variable. But for that, it is not possible to connect more code blocks to the join code block here, right? So, let's make room for it. I click on the settings icon in front of the word join here. You may see a box like this opens. Here, the current structure of the code block is displayed on the right side, and the paths that can be added to the code block are displayed on the left side. Currently, there are 2 items under join. I need to add 8 more items here. In this way, I drag an item code block into the join code block. Another item code block is dragged. Drag an item code block again. Now, 3 new item code blocks have been added. Drag another item code block. Okay, we need 3 more items. 1, 2, 3. Okay, in this way we have added a total of 10 items to the join code block. You have to provide the text that needs to be displayed in row 1 into these items. I drag an code block with a pair of inverted commas in the text here. For the next item, let's drag an app variable count code block under variables. Next, you need to display the number. Before that, let's look at the design again. As you can see, in order to display the values under these titles, there needs to be a gap between the count and the number. When we create the code, we need to provide this gap in the text. Here, you need to provide the same space as the space between the 2 titles for the text as well. So look carefully at the space between the titles here. I go back to the blocks tab. I connect a code block with a pair of inverted commas to the next item. Here, we need to give the gap between count and number. In this way, I adjust enough spacing with the space bar. As the next item, an app variable number code block in the variable section is connected. Okay, the next thing to display is the value assigned to the cows variable. But before that, it is necessary to adjust the gap between the number and cows. I'll drag a code block with a pair of inverted commas under text here, and I will set up enough space between these pairs of inverted commas. Now, as the next item, let's connect an app variable cows code block under variables here. Okay, now again, drag a code block with a pair of inverted commas under the text here and set a small gap between the inverted commas. As the last item, let's connect an app variable bulls code block under variables here. Okay, now we have finished assigning the text we want to display as a single row in the display variable.